The road to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee continues on as more details are released about the game, and this latest trailer provides our first look at Celadon City while introducing the replacement for HMs as well as brand new moves for both Pikachu and Eevee. But there's still plenty more to see. After all, that's why we have the old analysis machine. Let's see what secrets and hidden details it can find in this new trailer. And we'll begin with the secret techniques which will replace HMs in Let's Go. And these techniques are learned by either Pikachu or Eevee. With the new surf, Pikachu and the trainer literally ride a surfboard across the water. There's no need to have any other Pokemon. In the same way, we see that they'll be able to use the cut technique to access Lieutenant Surge's gym and any other path blocked by weeds. They're both pretty cut and dry. But the replacement for Fly is a little more interesting. Rather than riding a Pokemon, Pikachu or Eevee pilot a balloon-powered flying machine. It seems pretty likely that this is a reference to Flying Pikachu from the opening of Yellow, which is how he was able to use the move Fly, at least thanks to special distributions at the time. It's not the most practical way to fly, but hey, it worked for Up, so maybe they're onto something. However, the Japanese trailer presented a little bit more about the new fly technique in that it works in much the same way as before. We get a look at the in-game map and all the major locations that can be visited. The player's location is marked by a smiley face, and moving the cursor to one of the nodes shows a picture of that location as well as a brief description and a list of its major landmarks, all useful for newcomers to quickly and easily find what they're looking for. But more importantly, this leads into the use of Fly, where we see just how fast the transition is as the trainer arrives in front of Celadon City's Pokemon Center. It looks to be a quick and painless process. What's not shown with any of these though is how the secret techniques are learned. The Japanese trailer shows Pikachu getting the ability while on a surfboard next to a Lapras, but there's no indication of where this takes place. In the original, the Surf HM was found in the Safari Zone, which no longer exists thanks to the new Go Park, and players receive Lapras at Silphco, but neither of these match up. It might be purely a guess, but perhaps these techniques are taught by new characters once the player has defeated the required gym. That way the pacing is kept similar to Red, Blue, and Yellow. These secret techniques aren't the only thing that Pikachu and Eevee learn though. Both of them have exclusive moves. In fact, they have a special move that can be accessed by showering either of them with attention and love. This raises the possibility of them using these new special moves, which we see in the trailer. Giving the Joy-Con a shake when it's indicated allows them to unleash it. In Pikachu's case, it's the Pika Papow, while Eevee uses the VV Volley. And both of these moves become more powerful the stronger your bond is with them. Not only that, but they could indicate this special move even when they're not in battle, allowing them to boost the current Pokemon's stats. So you'll definitely want to shower them with affection to get even more of an edge in battles. But they also have new moves in general. Pikachu can use the water-type move Splishy Splash, which is a callback to Surfing Pikachu and has the chance to paralyze the opponent. Eevee is even more versatile and can learn 3 new moves, each based on the type of one of its evolutions. Its water move is Bouncy Bubble, which heals Eevee for half the damage it deals. The electric move is Buzzy Buzz, which has the chance of paralyzing the opposing Pokemon. And finally, there's SIZZLY Slide, a fire move that always leaves the opponent burned. It's not a bad trade-off considering this Eevee can't evolve. Beyond Pikachu and Eevee, the trailer also showed off more of Kanto itself, mainly focusing on Celadon City. But before that, we do get to see the top of Route 19, just south of Fuchsia City. Here we can see more of the new surfing mechanic and the fact that only Tentacool appear when doing this, just like the original game. This indicates that fishing will likely return and be necessary in order to catch the other water Pokemon that are in the game. It's not always going to be as simple as running around waiting for the Pokemon you need to appear. But Celadon itself looks mostly the same, just with the same upgrade we've seen to the other towns. This first scene features the road just behind the game corner. While there's not too much of note, we do see a Poliwrath next to a man and our first look at Oddish running behind the trainer. The scene then transitions to show the front of the game corner while Jigglypuff floats behind. Inside the game corner, we see the clerk on the left standing in front of posters featuring Pikachu and Pokeballs, including the Master Ball, which is rather curious considering their rarity. While Pokemon Go never featured the Master Ball, this indicates that it will be present in Let's Go, likely still as a reward from the Silph Co president. But could this also mean that more than one Master Ball could be in the game? Otherwise, the clerk is also surrounded by boxes and Snorlax plushies. More interesting is the Team Rocket grunt guarding the poster that hides the switch to Team Rocket's secret base. But even the poster is a cute nod as it features a Grimer riding a rocket ship. There has been one major change to the game corner though. It no longer resembles a pachinko parlor, but rather an arcade. This removes the gambling aspect that raised the game's age rating in certain countries. We suspect this also means that the slot machine game has been changed to something else, although we're not sure what. Maybe this is where the Surfing Pikachu minigame from the original Yellow will be accessed, but that's purely a guess on our part. Either way, the game corner is certainly a popular spot as the Japanese trailer shows off more of the patrons, including a beauty with her Staryu, the gym guide, and even Jessie and James. While it's unlikely that players will battle them here, it does show that their role has been increased. Perhaps after their introduction on Mount Moon, they'll begin to make cameos in every city that Team Rocket appears. It would tie into their recurring nature in the anime. Speaking of the game corner, we also get a look at the Celadon restaurant where you could receive the coin case for it. It's likely still found here, but the restaurant has been fleshed out to show some of the dishes, including curry, and show more of a working kitchen. It's nothing too major, but still worth pointing out how the game has been upgraded visually over the original. We then see Celadon's other major landmark, the department store. In this scene just outside, Grimer is following behind the trainer while two nearby citizens are hanging out with a coughing and a gloom, furthering the idea of many people just being with their Pokemon. Inside, on the first floor, we can see a floor directory next to the elevator while a poster featuring Erika is positioned next to the stairs. It helps give the sense that this is a living, breathing world where Erika is something of a celebrity. Further up the department store, we see a floor that focuses on selling medicine with potions and super potions mingled amongst other bags. There's even a poster nearby showing off the various potions available to buy. It also shows two separate clerks indicating that not everything can be bought by just talking to one. Each clerk will have their own inventory. The last we see of the department store is the roof where Pidgey are naturally hanging out. In addition, the thirsty trainer that gave away different TMs depending on what drink you gave her is still there. While there's been some changes to Celadon, a lot is still the same, and that includes the man just outside the Celadon gym who comments that it's full of women. But the gym itself is rather interesting compared to the previous three we've seen. All of those contain stands where an audience could watch the battle. But nothing like that exists in the Celadon gym. Instead, it's been made to be more maze-like with vines needing to be cut in order to proceed forward. It's a really clever touch that shows this gym is more secluded than others and is more of a garden than anything else. We also see the redesigned Erika, who mostly looks the same in her kimono, although the pattern is different. However, that's been the case with every generation that's featured Erika. What's more interesting is despite this being a remake of Pokemon Yellow, she uses a Vileplume in battle rather than a Gloom. And this Vileplume seems to have the same moveset it had in Red and Blue, as it uses Mega Drain on Pikachu, a move that the Gloom in Yellow did not have. But even then, this Vileplume is not exactly the same as the original. The Japanese trailer shows that it's level 34, 5 levels higher than the original game. It's been fascinating to see how each gym leader's Pokemon has been tweaked. While Erika's Vileplume has been strengthened, the trailer also shows that Misty's Starmie is only level 19, 2 levels lower than any other version of Gen 1. Likewise, Lieutenant Surge has 3 Pokemon like in Red and Blue, rather than just the single strong Raichu from Yellow. Despite that, this Raichu is 2 levels higher than the one from Red and Blue, and 2 lower than the one in Yellow. We'll have to see what other changes are made to the other 4 gym leaders' Pokemon as Let's Go draws closer to release. Alright, we're almost done here, but there's still a few things we wanted to point out. For one, we got our first look at the redesigned Pokemaniac. This time he's dressed as a Slowpoke rather than the Charizard outfit from Gen 3. Otherwise, there's another accessory for Pikachu and Eevee in the form of glasses, and a new interaction where you can high-five them for affection. We also received confirmation that a stylist isn't necessary to change Pikachu or Eevee's hairstyle. Instead, according to the official website, it's done by ruffling their hair. The hairstyle will change depending on the motions made by the player. And all of this affection is worth it beyond the special move in battles. After all, sometimes Pikachu and Eevee will give you a gift for playing with it. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee continues to look quite charming with some interesting changes to the formula. It's good to see the continued drop of HMs entirely, and the new moves make Pikachu and Eevee much more versatile. While different to the usual Pokemon experience, this has the potential to have its own brand of fun, and we can't wait to see more. Of course, if we missed anything, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Pokemon and other things gaming.